already know it's Mr. Hood Love Mikey B, and this is Hood Love TV, where you live, love, and always gonna learn. Today, I'll be reacting to Pooh Shiesty trying to rob Gucci for his music rights back. That's what I'll be. That's what I'll be. Peace to everybody. Rise up, man. Happy Easter, man. Happy Easter. To everybody. This day that they say Jesus Christ rose up from the grave, is resurrected. So for everybody celebrating Easter, happy Easter to all of y'all. Happy Easter to the peoples. I've been wanted to come and do a show on this, but I've been kind of busy. Didn't want to do it on Good Friday, Saturday. I was kind of busy yesterday. So I said, um, let me do it on Easter. It correlates with a lot. I'm gonna show the correlation with a lot of the things that we see going on out here. Hopefully, as usual, we always have a great show. But yo, I'm not gonna lie. This story right here is like an amazing story. You know what I mean? But the questions got. I see a lot of people around the internet talking about how dumb. Pooh Shiesty's a legendary dummy. Um, do I agree that he's dumb? No, I don't. I don't agree that Pooh Shiesty is dumb. I think he knows exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what what he was what he was in for. He knew exactly what was going on with that. That's not. I don't take Pooh Shiesty as no type of dummy. He's a smart man. He was able to accumulate amass millions of dollars, get big deals in America. Pooh Shiesty's not a dummy. Pooh Shiesty is a fed up slave. He's slave to a system, one that he signed himself into. I could say he was dumb at one time. When he signed the contract, he was probably illiterate to the business and how this would affect his overall life with him becoming a big star and his finances. Um, but now, when I see Pooh Shiesty, I see a lot of things, but none of them are dumb. Y'all know what it is. Pooh Shiesty is like the new millennials' number one American gangster. It's a gangster story. There's layers to it. I'm gonna give y'all the layers. But this is a gangster story. You know what I'm saying? Pooh Shiesty, he's on the phone with the gangsters. He went to prison, came back out. Um, Maybe not bigger than he was, but he was going to be bigger than he was. But as we see now, he wasn't doing music because he was trying to because he was trying to get out that deal when he first came home. But I think he already had all his plan that he was going to go get his rights back for his music. Um, I think he's seen all that stuff early. I think he's seen all that stuff early and often. He ain't dumb. He an American gangster. American gangsters do business with American steel. We know that. We know the stories. We seeing it. We see it playing out every day when we turn on the news. R.I.P. to that baby that just got killed in Bushwick, Brooklyn. We see what's going on in America. It was promoted by these same musicians, excuse me, music execs and companies. They promoted that stuff to the communities. So everybody know what it looked like. Everybody know what it is. Pooh Shiesty got the whole kids from all over every city, every urban city in America wearing all black and ski masks. He is the role model for all of them. This is all a part of that same script. This is all a part of the same gangster script that we see going on in America. Straight up. Straight up. And a lot of people feel that he's dumb. A lot of people gonna feel that he's dumb. Do I believe that Pooh Shiesty's dumb? No. I feel that Yo, salute to everybody pulling up in the building. Yo, AP, yo, Cuba, yo, who up in Wax Dog? Yo, salute, yo, Ville, what up? Y'all talking, y'all talk. I see you, y'all on me already. Yo, Henny, what's up? That's how I like it, though. We gonna talk about it. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be uncomfortable because I'm gonna give you the truth. They up here spitting a lot of lies. Let me tell you something. What you see these big podcasters doing, they spitting what they want you to think. They spitting what you want, not what's real, not the reality of what we seeing, because none of them stood behind that still. None of them lived the life of a gangster, so they can't be in Pooh Shiesty's mind. None of them did years up top with them generals and them OGs and them elders that's teaching dudes, that's stopping violence, that's stopping black on black amongst each other so they can be strong and they can do the right thing when they come back to community. What you mean? They ain't there praying for freedom, praying and getting taught from the Muslims, the guards, the Christians, the neutral dudes that's in there, the black revolutionaries that's in there. They ain't get that shit. What you mean? Pooh Shiesty is a gangster. Pooh Shiesty is American gangster. No matter how you put it, he said, listen, Pooh Shiesty told America, he told Gucci Man, he told America, give me freedom or give me death. And let me tell you this, I say Pooh Shiesty is not a revolutionary. He's a gangster. And let me tell you something. Do I respect the way he did it? Of course I don't. I'm a businessman. I don't do business like that. Of course I don't. But I do respect, go get your shit. Get your shit. You got these people robbing you out here and you ain't doing shit. If it was a black person or another person, you'd be knocking them down if you a gangster. Go get your shit. I seen all these fake gangsters get robbed in that industry. I seen a lot of people. Almost all these dudes that we see that's coming from the industry, almost every one of them got robbed. Why you think all the rappers is broke? Why you think all the rappers is broke? Pooh Shiesty said, I'm not them. Pooh Shiesty said, I'm not them. He said, I'm not them. You got to give me my shit. You did me wrong. And then when I was in prison, you did my family wrong with all that funeral shit. You try to take back shit from us. You try to violate us. What you mean? This is work. This is the straight trajectory of what Pooh Shiesty showed us on videos. Him running down, getting money, taking money. We know who Pooh Shiesty is in America. What you mean? We know dudes like this from our neighborhoods. We know people that's gonna stand on shit, stand on business the way they see the business need to be standing on. Do I agree with the tactics? Of course I don't. I do business in America. But I do agree with go get your shit. Go get your money back. I do agree with that all the way. Go get your shit. We seen this same story play out 20 years ago. Who did this same shit 20 years ago and went to jail? I'm putting this question to y'all in the chat because I don't like to give y'all everything. I like for us to build. About 20 years ago, a famous person did something similar to this. Put in the chat who that person is. Somebody put that in the chat. Somebody put in the chat who that person was that did something similar to this. Big, big time celebrity, big time star. Who did this? Something similar to this 20 years ago. Not Ice Cube, not Suge Knight. I'm gonna give y'all another clue. I'm gonna give y'all another clue. It wasn't even in the music industry. It wasn't even a celebrity from the music industry. I'm gonna give you another clue. AP, yo, salute. I'm gonna give you OJ Simpson, Bubbles. OJ, you see what Bubbles said right there? Bubbles 21. OJ Simpson. Give me my shit. That's my stuff. OJ 2007. I think it happened 20 years ago on the dot. I think he did it in 2006 and got caught for it in 2007. Or he might have did it and got caught for it in 2007. But 2007, OJ Simpson seen them people in Las Vegas with his stuff, with his memorabilia. They took all his shit. And OJ Simpson said, give me my shit. This is my stuff. Yo, what's up, bro? What's this is my stuff. Before that, we had some rappers. We had some rappers that did it the right way. We had some rappers that got out of a deal and did it the right way. Yo, Shabba, salute. Yo, Jeff Eric, salute. We had some rappers that did it the right way. Name those rappers. Name those rappers that did it the right way. Name the rappers. There's some rappers that got out of a big deal. Who was those rappers that got out of a big deal? But they didn't use American steel. They used the American people. Yo, DMX, yo, what up? Salute. They didn't use American steel. They used American people. Your OG Bobby Johnson, salute. Power to the people. Fred Hampton, you already know. Salute. Paperboy. The Locks. Salute to the Locks. Salute to the Locks. This is D Block. Mighty, mighty D Block. They beat Diddy. They beat Diddy the right way. It's different ways. They didn't get a lawyer. They didn't get a lawyer. They didn't do none of that. They went to the streets. We are the streets. They went to that shit. They went to the peoples. If these dudes watched history, Pooh Shiesty was big enough to do the same shit that the Locks did. Free the Locks, free the Locks. I was in prison like, damn, they got a movement out here. Pooh Shiesty could have got freed if he used the same tactics of the Locks. But you know what the difference between the Locks? You know what the difference between the Locks and Pooh Shiesty? What's the difference between? Let me y'all tell me. I know the difference. What's the difference between the Locks and Pooh Shiesty? What's the difference between the Locks and Pooh Shiesty? All talk gangster shit on the tracks. They all talk gangster shit. They all talk gangster shit on the tracks. Discipline is a good one. Longevity is a good one. Those are good things. But that's not the main difference. The Locks really can't rap. Pooh Shiesty can rap. Pooh Shiesty can rap. Yo, T-Mac, you funny. T-Mac, the Locks really can rap. I ain't gonna say it. What's the difference between the Locks and Pooh Shiesty? Why did they take took different measures to get out of out of their contracts? And I'm not saying the Locks. And let me tell you something. It's simple. It's very simple. It's very simple. Education. We seen Jadakiss's father come to the internet and say, "Yo, he went to a good school, college. Them dudes are smart. All gangsters ain't smart, but there's no requirement for you to be smart as a gangster." I'm just being honest. There's no educational requirement to being a gangster. There's no education requirement. Yo, listen, you ain't got your GED, you can't be a gangster. There's no education requirement. Them dudes are smart. That's why they still getting money. They got longevity in the game. They still doing them. They still making money. They still making fire music because they smarter. Our glass ceiling is in our minds. Your educational level is going to say how far you go in life. Your success or failure is on how much you know or don't know, or who you know, and how you use and disseminate that information. That's the difference. Pooh Shiesty could have pulled off that in America. Because I really think when the Locks, I don't know, I might be wrong, but I'm going to ask y'all this question. Quick poll. Do you think Pooh Shiesty is bigger today than the Locks were in 1998, 1999 when they got out of that deal with Diddy? Who you think was bigger in hip hop, Pooh Shiesty or the Locks? Because I think Pooh Shiesty wasn't smart enough to be, and that's the art of war. We were just talking about the art of war. We were just talking about the art of war up here. Shiesty really, he used the last level of the art of war. There's levels of up, kill your allies, or separate you from your allies. That's what the Locks did when they did that campaign, Free the Locks. When they said free the locks, that was us going to the peoples, going directly to our supporters that loved us, and really, like a lot of other things we've seen play out on media in America. The civil rights movement was backed by social media, by the TV. Without the TV, without the help of the people, and I mean all people in America, white, black, people or other, without that stuff ever being shown on the news and on TV, then the civil rights movement would have never went anywhere. But once the Locks bring that shit to the people and made it into a campaign, Free the Locks, and going against Diddy, he could have did that. Shiesty could have did. He had the power to do that in America. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Academics did. I ain't gonna lie. Academics, he be cooking. Academics was cooking. He was saying some real stuff. I watched the academic show. I watched most of his live, some of his live when he was talking on this. Academics was cooking. But Pooh Shiesty is Django. Pooh Shiesty is the dude that know he had got robbed legally. Signed your shit up. Legal robbery. Legal robbery. But you robbed anyway. You signed up your rights no matter how you did it. You robbed anyway. Yo, Gucci man. Yo, Gucci man is in here. Yo, Gucci man. Yo, Gucci man. Let me ask you this while you in the chat, Gucci man. You got Gucci man in the chat. They said that's Gucci. Check it out. Since you in the building, let me ask you this, Gucci. Why you tell on that boy? Why you go and tell on that boy? Yo, Yo, look, he is crazy. Pooh Shiesty's crazy. When you come up in the streets, he told on that boy. I seen the paperwork. Yo, listen, yo, the crazy shit is you see some shit written in the paperwork. We got the whole DA. The feds don't care about showing who's ratting or saying who's ratting or who told or who didn't. Feds don't care about that shit. They care about getting justice, getting money, and making sure the structure of America is the way they set it up to be. Right? Check it out. All right, Gucci saying he can't speak. I understand it's an open case, Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's open. Gucci said I can't speak on it right now, Mikey. That's smart. But the truth gonna come out eventually. I respect it. I seen some of your senior paperwork, but that's a whole nother question. But Shiesty signed and made a bunch of money with Gucci Man, right? He made some money, got lit, right? He know, he know how Gucci Man was rolling. He know his security was police. You think Shiesty ain't know that the Gucci Man was his security was police? That's why he left him out the room when he tried to book him for the rights back. He knew they was police. They was protecting him too when he used to be with Gucci and they moving around. He been with Gucci, did shows all over. You think he didn't know that Gucci was hiring off-duty cops? He knew that shit. Yo, Mike Myers, you wildin'. Gucci said China put the fake paperwork out of him. Y'all tripping. He knew that. But his crazy ass His crazy ass, he did it anyway. He's the breadwinner of the family. They said his father wasn't with it. I believe it. They showed some paperwork. I don't know if his father told. They saying his father told. I ain't looking to that. I don't know. But they saying his father was already, you know, cooperated with the government in a different case. I don't know. I don't know about none of that. What I do know, what I do know is that Shiesty didn't care. Shiesty ain't care about none of that. He knew how they was gonna come, so he went and got some gangsters from a few different cities, states, or whatever, flew them in, and had them all outgunned. That's just the truth. He had them out. He knew they had all. He backed so that they backed the police and everything down. Yo, King E360 salute. He backed the police. They backed everybody down. Police like yo, they had us outgunned. We couldn't do shit. Feds got on that in 2 months. They heard that story. They said he's Neo. Neo tried to upset the whole Matrix. You trying to mess the Matrix up. He thinks he's Neo. You heard what that DA said when he did that press conference? He said, we don't do business like that in America. They used to. They restructured America. When America was into running slaves and snatching land and taking land, they was doing the same shit with guns. They was doing that shit. And guess what? When they came to get Pooh Shiesty, his father, and all of them, they showed them we the bigger gangsters. We got more guns. We got more bullets. We got flash bangs. We got all kind of technology for them Dracos or whatever you got. We gonna up that force. Whatever force you got, we're gonna up that force, and that's the order of war. We're gonna surround you. We're gonna put you in a position where you gotta say, "Come out with your hands up." We got you surrounded. That's the order. When you get surrounded, it's the usage of the art of war. When somebody strategically plans and does things like that, when the government does that, anybody that does them is the use of the art of war. That's the art of war. Overwhelm them. You overwhelm them so they know they lost the fight before the fight even start. It never comes to a physical war because you already know you lost it before. I beat you on another level. It's the art of war. Textbook. Textbook art of war. To beat you without a physical fight. To beat you without a physical fight. That's what Gucci, that's what Shiesty did to Gucci, and that's what the government went to them when they came and got him. But Shiesty ain't no dummy. Shiesty was in there with all the other gangsters that he met in the feds, and they was teaching him. He know he couldn't be who he was without that shit. Shiesty, y'all saying he's dumb. Shiesty tried to pull off one of the biggest heists we've seen in hip hop. How much you think his stuff is worth? I heard he had other deals on the table. Get out your deal, I'll give you 10 million. He trying to pull off a $20 million heist. They just said Gucci Man made 25 million recently off Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty got new music he ain't put out. He ain't put it out because he knew what he was gonna do and he was gonna get all his money. Pooh Shiesty tried to pull off a heist. He just got busted. And let me tell you something. It was way stupid. I'm not saying it wasn't dumb. I wouldn't lead my people into some shit where I know I can get us all booked. Yo, Wolfpack, salute. I'm not gonna get my people together and round us up. If I'm gonna round my people up, I'm gonna do some shit where I know the outcome is only gonna be positive and not negative. That shit could have went all the way wrong if Gucci was on, if Gucci was on it, if Gucci was a gangster, if Gucci was a gangster and seen that shit escalating like that, and he had it on his hip, that shit really could have went left. That shit could have been a whole bang out. That shit could have been like The Bronx Tale, American Me. You know, that shit could have been like Shotters or one of these movies we seen if Gucci Mane was a gangster. This shit could have went all the way left. All them guns like that. That shit could have went all the way left. But guess what? One miscalculation, one miscalculation on that man's on that. Let me tell you something. The only miscalculation it's a couple of miscalculations, but the main miscalculation he made. What is the main miscalculation in this whole situation that Pooh Shiesty made? What's the main miscalculation that he made? He made one major miscalculation. What was that? What was that miscalculation? Mike Myers said, I'm gonna tell you. What's the major? He made one major miscalculation, man. And let me tell you something. Taking his jewelry was a part of the heist. They probably took about $1 million in jewelry. Ankle monitor, they ain't do it because the ankle monitor couldn't tell. They said he didn't kill Gucci. He cried, wow. Mike Myers, that's right. You see what Mike Myers said? He thought Gucci and them wasn't gonna tell. But why did he believe that Gucci wouldn't tell? Why would he believe that Gucci and them didn't tell? He thought Gucci Mane was a gangster. He thought Gucci Mane was a gangster. Just like we thought all these other dudes that we seen that's cooperating, that's rappers with all these millions of dollars that's cooperating, we thought they was gangsters too. We thought they was gangsters too. Gucci Mane, but see, that's the problem. That's the problem. Gucci Mane ain't no gangster. These dudes y'all see out here in hip hop, they not no gangsters. They are black businessmen in gangsters' clothing, using gangster slang, with maybe even some gangster friends. They ain't gangsters, they good businessmen. Good businessmen. They making millions of dollars. We got billionaires that came out of our communities in our neighborhoods. Guys we was rubbing shoulders with at one time. These dudes are not gangsters, bro. These dudes ain't no gangsters, bro. Dudes, everybody really believing that these rapper dudes is not gangsters, bro. When we see the real gangsters dying and go either dying or going to jail every day. If you ain't know it, let me tell you this. Let me just say this. This is just the reality. If you a hustler, you're not a gangster. If you know somebody that's doing something and you be around them, you're not a gangster. If you're not dragging no American I don't care how much money you got, I don't care how much hustling you did. If you not the one that's willing to drag that steel, then you is not no gangster. I'm just being honest. That the gangster was made in America before my time. That's just something we inherited, something we learned about. But all them gangsters drag steel. They don't point. They don't run. They gonna drag still. I'm just being honest. If you're not dragging no still, if somebody is dragging it for you, then you ain't no gangster. Just being honest. Your little mans in them get busy. And let me tell you something. Not to big up anything. I just like the culture. Like in LA, like Bones. When I seen the Denzel Washington movie, we put in our own work around here, homie. Denzel Washington try to get them to move. I'm gonna put a case on all you bitches. All you bitches is getting a case. We put in our own work around here, homie. Fuck who you is and how big you is. What work you put in. You ain't putting no work. You ain't no gangster. I'm just being honest. You ain't dragging no steel. You ain't no gangster. You ain't standing up when they come and grab your ass and they put you in the courtroom. You ain't no gangster. Yo, BV, salute. Salute everybody pulling up. Gucci Man is a businessman in gangster's clothing. Was he a gangster at some point in his life? He probably was. I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know. He might have been a gangster when he was in the streets. He might have been a gangster at one time. Y'all like Al Bial video. Al Bial said Gucci Man is a clone. They clone Gucci. That's the clone. I heard somebody else say this before. He's a clone. Yeah. Hell no, I ain't no gangster. He said, Mikey B, are you a gangster? Hell no, I ain't no gangster. I used to be. Just like probably Gucci. I'm just a motherfucker out here making it and doing what I gotta do, man. That's it. Working, taking care of my business, taking care of my family, bro. I used to be. Oh, I thought I was. At one point in my life, I was a dummy. I was probably more of a fool, more of an idiot than a gangster. You know what I'm saying? I was crazy as hell. I had mental issues. You're, I'm just being honest. I had demons. I had demons I had to pray off me. I had to get blessed. I had to get them demons off me. You know what I'm saying? I think Pooh Shiesty got the demons. That's why this is good on Easter. Rise up, the resurrection of Christ. The same demons that's on us in our community right now, because there's demons on us. We got demons on us. The government is telling you that it's interdimensional beings and shit going on. I hope y'all watching and looking at TV. I hope y'all looking at not just the dirty section, and I hope y'all looking at other things too. They telling us about interdimensional beings that we think are aliens, but they are demons. I have fought them. How you think I got my life back? Y'all see me come up here with episodes and shit like that? That's fighting demons. What you mean? What you think that is? That is demons. They tried the same shit with Jesus. They tried the same shit with him. That's demons. Pooh Shiesty wasn't like me. I went in there, I talked to the Muslim brothers when the demons was attacking me. When I was seeing ghosts in prison. When they was choking me when I was down, when I was trying to wake up. I just talked to one of my family members. We don't even, my family told me about these demons. I was just too dumb to understand it as a kid. My grandmother told me about these demons that she fought. I talked to my family member the day before yesterday. Yo, somebody heard me screaming. The demons is on them. The demons was on them. That shit is some real shit. I've been to prison with all of them in New York. David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, the dude that killed John Lennon. Them dudes gave their life to God. That's the only way to get that shit off you. Look at the Muslim brothers that's coming out here talking about the jinns, praying 5 times a day. The jinns, the demons, the aliens, all that's the same shit, bro. What you mean? When them shits jumped on me, what you think I said? The 23rd Psalms. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What you mean? When I try to fight the demons without the Lord, without the help of the Lord's word, them shits almost killed me in my sleep. I started seeing stars like I was gonna pass out. And I knew to myself, I said, yo, I'm gonna die. If I probably wouldn't have woke up the next day. That was a fucking demon. I had to pray to get them shits off me. Pooh Shiesty is a gangster. He wasn't with that. I was trying to better myself and better my life, which I did. Y'all see a person with a better life from where I came from. Pooh Shiesty was good with status quo because he made millions and he was happy with status quo in his life. When he get out, he know he was getting right back to it. So Pooh Shiesty was in there working out, writing raps, and probably talking mad gangster shit. That's the difference between brothers like him and brothers like myself. People call us reformed. No, we fought the demons. We fought the demons and won. What you mean? What you mean? When you see brothers like Moshe, I don't, and you could pick a religion. It doesn't make a difference which religion. Once you come in the name of God, once you come in the name of God, Rasta, Christian, you know what I'm saying? Muslim, Jew, no matter what name you come in, once you come in the name of God, you coming in the name of power. You coming in the name of power that our peoples, that our ancestors have called on for thousands of years. Why do you think I did this show today? On Easter, when Christ rose up, you come in the name of God. He got demons on him. He ain't fight the demons. He got a taste of the power. Them OGs in there, they gave him a taste of the power, the real power. They gave him a taste of it. And that's why he wasn't scared to tackle that shit. That's that confidence. When you see people doing shit, you think it's crazy. Y'all say crazy or dumb because it's outside the norm of what's socially accepted. Son is, I say he's crazy. But I know he affected by the demons. David Burke was killed all on women in the 70s. He said the dog made him do it. He said the devil was in the dog, and the dog made him do it. Demons. They got demons. I was in prison with this young man. I had about 10 or 15 years, and he asked me, he told me, Mikey, the devil come to me every night. He said, I can't sleep. He taking medication. He said, yo, the devil come to my cell and talk to me every night. He come and sit on my desk and talk to me every night. I said, damn, how you know it's the devil? How you know what the devil look like? Just being honest. But it's a spiritual feeling. I know what he's talking about. I fought demons. It's a what's the right word? Manila. It's a feeling. It's an instinct. It's a feeling that you get when these shits, when them beings come around, and you know you astral plane. You can go to other places when you sleep. I know y'all understand that. There's such thing as astral planing, and that we leave ourselves and we go to other dimensions and other places when I was asleep. Malevolent. I be saying it wrong, Empress, but it's a malevolent feeling. And when I fought the demons, and when I fought the demons in the material world or coming out of sleep, which is a dimension, and back into the material world, I think it's like a cusp of they are powerful there. The CIA talks about this. The governments talk about, look on the internet. Look, they did studies on this. It's interdimensional beings. That's them demons, yo. Yeah, I did. I know. I'm mangling that word. I'm gonna be honest. Right. But they know all this shit is real. All that shit is real, bro. Yo, it was like some shit. Let me tell you something. What's that movie? What's that movie with a dude? He be going into the porthole. It's a fake. What's the name of the what's the name of the movie with the guy? He went to get his son in the astro plane. He went to get his son was in there. He was in there. Every time he would go in there in the astro plane, they would always not Stargate, not Stargate. In the astro plane, he would sit in a chair, go to sleep, and then he would go into the astro plane. He would astro plane and go into another dimension where it looked like the same house, but it was demons and stuff in there. What's the name of that movie? It's a lot of different movies by that name too. No, my whole family got them. It's not psych issues. They try to tell you it's psych issues. It's not psych issues. It's not. It's not. It's not psych. What's the name of that movie, yo? With the Insidious. Insidious. Yo, John. Yo, John. Good looking, John. Insidious. That shit is real. You seen that demon on the ceiling? You seen that demon on the ceiling when she was in the hospital, when the kid was in the hospital bed, and that demon was on the ceiling? I woke up. Oh, I was like in the middle of waking up, and that shit I seen. It wasn't a clear picture of a demon like that, but it was the silhouette. I seen that shit. I said, "Oh shit!" In my cell. I'm in a cell. I'm in a single cell by myself. I seen that shit. I said, "Oh shit!" It was waiting. She was waiting in the corner. Soon as I seen that shit jumped on me. That shit, it's called. Some people call it a witch riding your back. You know, it's called succubus and incubus. These things that these demons that do stuff to us while we sleeping. But that's you in the astral plane. It's all this stuff is in the all this stuff is by the Catholic Church. All this stuff they know about all this shit. I'm telling you, that shit jumped on me, bro. That shit grabbed me. I try to fight that shit. I'm like, oh shit. I start saying the 23rd Psalms. The Lord is my shepherd. I sharing out my grandmother. That happened to my grandmother. She told me about this shit when I was a kid. She used to tell me all the history and all that stuff. That's why we need our parents to let us know. We need to find out about our history. My grandmother told me that shit happened to her. Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. That shit got up off me. That shit got up off me. That's when I first went upstate in 1999 in downstate. I think it's a lot of I think certain areas got more like if you were over a cemetery or if a lot of bad things happen in the area, I think them type of areas have more. I think the rip between the dimensions becomes when the souls and spirits go through a lot of stuff in the area. I think those areas become more susceptible for those type of things. Like, you know what I mean? Traumatized areas like prison or certain areas, I think they're more high in these type of interactions, type of things. You know what I'm saying? He said you gotta remain calm. Yo, listen. The second time, like a day later, it ran down on me again. This time I try to use my will to fight this shit without the 23rd Psalms. And when I did that shit, and when I did that, I was started seeing stars. I started like going out. And that's when I got calm. You right, OG Bobby Johnson. And that's when I got calm and said the 23rd Psalms. And it immediately got off me. It immediately got off me. But right, Hector Burgos, you hear that? Facts. Attica's like that. Attica's like that. From all them people that died, all that devilish, that's how Attica is. That's real shit. Attica's like that too. Southport. I was seeing him in Southport. I'm telling you, bro, that shit is some real shit. But that's what he got. He's suffering from demons that he never fought. Pooh Shiesty, and don't get me wrong, like I said, I could never, put Shiesty in a revolutionary conversation because a gangster is counter-revolutionary. You know, a gangster is a counter-revolutionary. So I can never put him, but he's definitely a gangster. He's definitely American gangster. And they're about to give him the same shit they give all gangsters in America. 30 years, 40 years. He gonna get the time of a big time American gangster. He gonna get the time. He gonna get that type of time. You see what I'm saying? Nah, it hasn't happened to me since I've been home. It hasn't happened to me at all since I've been home. I had a I had mad interactions like that though. But I knew that kid that told me that shit in Elmira that he seen the devil in his cell. I mean, he wouldn't go to sleep. He used to be talking all night in Elmira. Talk all night. And I told him, I said, yo, you gotta pray, bro. You gotta pray to God, man. You got a religion? He ain't have a religion. I don't know what he seen out there in the Bronx or what he did. Yo, salute, yo, B Jizzle, salute. Salute everybody pulling up. I don't know what he seen out there in the Bronx or what he actually did, but that kid, he told me he was seeing that devil. He said the devil used to talk to me every day. I hear the dudes in jail screaming at night. You know what I mean? Night terrors. That's where you gonna hear all that shit at. But this kid, I know the feeling that he's talking about. Cause when these things come around, you can feel an evil. You know it's an evil presence amongst you. Your hair stand up on your arms. Happy Easter, you already know. Appreciate you, sis, Empress. Have a good one. Have a happy Easter. But yeah, man, we in a trying time, people. We in all the stuff you see right now. A lot of the gang shit, a lot of these colors that's being passed around. These is religious wars that been going on for years. These same colors, the red, the blue, all these different flags, all this different shit. This is religious wars that been going on for thousands of years. The numbers, the usage of numbers and all that stuff. 5, 6, you hear that shit, 3, 4, 9. Them numbers that we coming in the name of certain numbers, we coming in the name of colors. Once you start picking that shit up, we coming in the name of religions. Once you start picking that shit up, once you start picking that shit up, you are connecting yourself to wars that been going on for thousands of years. Thousands. The predate that they got on humanity is wrong. They did it to make their civilization seem like the one that's in power. They did that to make the current civilization like it's the only one in power. That's why they messed up the dates on the Egyptian pyramids, all the structures and all the things they found. That's why they did that shit. But those times is not right. We've been here for thousands of years. We've been intelligent, civilized human beings building for thousands of years, bro. Not just 5,000. We've been here hundreds of thousands of years, bro. We've been here hundreds of thousands of years, bro. That timeline is bad. That timeline is wrong. They know it's wrong. They know it's wrong, bro. And I'm not talking about Homo erectus and all this shit they try to tell us. That shit is cap. All that shit is lies, bro. All that stuff is lies. All that shit is lies, bro. Mike, John said, how long did that happen to you? Happen to me. That shit happened for years. I came up north in '99. I saw a ghost in 2019. In 2019, I was still seeing shit. I still be seeing. Once you can see stuff, like I had this Dominican dude. A Dominican dude came on my company, and he said I didn't have the actual interactions of the entities trying to harm me or do whatever to me. But 2019, I had an old timer come to me. He came on the company. As soon as he came on the company, he brought spirits with him. He had like he was into Santeria, and he had like a little shrine. And I was the porter on the company at Wendy's in 2019. So I went and I see he had that shrine. You know, I said what's up to him, old timer. He had a shrine, Santeria shrine. They put their Bible on it, it's food on it. You know, it's usually a fruit or something on this little shrine. I'm studying, I'm writing and doing some shit, and I seen the entity go by my cell. I went to that old man. I said, yo, oh, I said, yo, I said, yo, I said, I said, you brought some entities up here, bro, on everything. I said, you brought some entities up here, bro. He said, oh, you a seer. Just some people could see that shit. And he know I seen. He know what I know what I was talking about. Because he made a sacrifice to them and they was coming to get their sacrifice. I only went to Southport one time. Most of my time was in upstate. Like my box time was mostly in upstate or other boxes. The one time I went to Southport in 2019, I seen a Muslim ghost that everybody knows about. I thought it was a person. I thought it was a person. So I'm doing something in my cell, writing or something. You always see it from your peripheral. You could see into other dimensions sometimes from your peripheral. You could see things from other dimensions from your peripheral sometimes. You're not going to never see it straight on. You're not never going to see, or it might be like a mirage. You might see it for a glimpse, but you always going to see it from the side of your eye. So I seen it and I got him the gate. I said, I said, yo, who's that Muslim? I said, was that the Muslim imam that just went by? Because you know the Muslim imams go by, they got their kufis on. They said, nah, Mikey B, ain't nobody walk by. No, matter of fact, matter of fact, excuse me. I said, who was that just walked by to the guys on the company? You know, I got a few homies, a few people around me, a few guys I mess with. I said, yo, who walked by on the company? Who was that? They said, Mikey B, nobody ain't walked by. But somebody on the company said, was it a Muslim? I said, yeah. I said, he had a kufi on. I said, what was that? The Muslim Iman? They said, nah, that's a ghost that be in here. They said, that's a ghost that been in here. I only went to Southport one time. How I know? I ain't know about that shit. I just seen it. I seen other people that let spirits in, doing rituals that they couldn't control. I seen guards do that shit. Guards turn their life over and turn Christian because they had to pray and fast in an MO house to get the demons off them, to get them shits off them. But prayer always wins out. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if, I know he got some tutelage in there. I know he got some tutelage while he was in prison, but it probably wasn't, it wasn't the tutelage that he needed to come out here and be successful. He got the tutelage on how to be a bigger gangster when he went to prison. More dangerous. The only thing that changed is people and things always change. Pooh Shiesty changed. Gucci Man changed. Pooh Shiesty changed. He got bigger and badder and gonna do bigger shit. Some dudes go to jail. It's an escalation. They come out. Hitler was in prison. Look what he came out of prison and did. Once you got that time to think and focus your mind on one thing for a long period of times and educating yourself, then you become powerful. Once you got that, once you got that, once you got the time to sit down and think and get disciplined, once you can focus your energy, then you're gonna be dangerous. You're gonna be powerful. And if you're already powerful, you're just gonna be more powerful. Gucci Man, he changed. He changed to a businessman from a street dude, a gangster that we thought he was. All these dudes, or a lot of these dudes, they still got the same imagery of a gangster, the dress code of a gangster, the slang, the friends, but the principles of a gangster, the morals, they don't got that shit. That shit is gone. They're not doing that. And let me tell you something. If they wasn't just being businessmen in America, and if they was trying to be America with all this money and power and trying to be gangsters, federal government, they would have took them. Just like they taking the rest of the gangsters. Or the states that they in, they gonna deal with that shit because we not empowering gangsters. They not empowering gangsters. You think they're giving gangsters 20 million? You think they're giving you think they're giving gangsters $10 million deals when they go in there? No, you a good rapper. I'm giving a rapper a deal, not a gangster. Now you might got a good story of what you was, but I am signing you because of what you could do on this microphone. Pause. You understand what I'm saying? There ain't no gangsters. Gucci Mane is Steven from Django. Who's that nigga on the nag? Who's that nigga on the nag? Gucci Man getting money, but he working for the higher ups. He getting them money. What you mean? He the butler. He the gatekeeper. These dudes is gatekeepers. They the butlers of the music industry, bro. Vaughn was a gangster. Who said Vaughn was no gangster? But these dudes is gatekeepers. They butlers. They Steven. Who's that nigga on boss? Come here. Shiesty. You gotta watch Shiesty. You think you what you think these CIs is? You think they are? What you think all this shit is? I didn't say once you get millions, not once they get see, that's the whole thing. See, just saying that was a good thing. I thought you said once you get millions, you're not a gangster no more. No, that's not see, you missing the gist of what I'm saying. Once you get the money from them, they're not gonna give you millions. Now, if you make your own millions, you could be as gangster as you want. It's some gangsters with millions out here. Probably won't be long lived, but there's gangsters with millions. They didn't get it from the record industry, or if so, they didn't show the record industry their true face. The record industry don't see their true face. They don't know who they really are. They're smart gangsters. I'm just saying. That's the facts. That's the facts. Pooh Shiesty is Django. Pooh Shiesty is Django. Pooh Shiesty, Pooh Shiesty is the kid from Sinners with the guitar that the devil is trying to take his music and do what he want with it. That's who Pooh Shiesty is in these stories. Pooh Shiesty is Neo going against the structure of the Matrix. They ain't not standing for that. If Gucci, let me tell you something. If I was Pooh Shiesty, I wouldn't be thinking about no trial. If y'all got faith that Gucci Man ain't gonna take no stand, I don't. I don't. Because Gucci know without him involving law enforcement in this, he would have lost maybe 100 mil off Pooh Shiesty in the future generation of the money that his music will make moving forward. They said all his music is selling more now. He might make 100 mil. Them dudes is making money. Pooh Shiesty is one of the biggest names in America. When your name is the biggest name in America in the world, they know Pooh Shiesty in the world. Them streams, that money is different. It's not the same from a local rapper or one of these dudes you see. That money is gonna be different. That streaming money is different when you a dude like Pooh Shiesty and you got #1 song in the world or two, three, you in the top 10 hip hop or some shit like that in the world, in America and the world, that money is different. That money goes different. You doing shows and you doing tours, $100 million tours, that money's not the same. Them dudes is making 100 million in one tour. Just saying. The dude that was in the room with Shiesty press charges. I mean, excuse me, with Gucci press charges. But Gucci, no, if he don't do that, don't get me wrong, Pooh Shiesty's crazy. A legal document of that stature has to be notarized. So what they did was they took a video of Gucci signing it. So he couldn't say he didn't sign it, and it wasn't under duress. You know? But a document like that usually has to get notarized. You go in front of a notary, and you get a document like that notarized. But once they got him on video signing it, it's over. Gucci Man knew it was over, and Gucci Man like, yo, I'm not getting robbed. I'm not going out like that. Now, can Gucci Man say, hey, I'm not gonna take the stand against him? Gucci can say that. I told on him to protect my interest in my business, but I'm not gonna go all the way out on the stand and tell on him. He's still a victim. It don't make a difference if he takes the stand or not. He's still a victim. He's still a victim in that case. And even if he don't take the stand, the other guy, the photo guy that lost a bag of watches, he had a whole bag of watches. He had a watch on his arm. Then he had like 3 watches in a bag. But Gucci, if he take the stand or not, he had to protect his business. He's a businessman. He's not a gangster. Now that contract that he signed is null and void. That contract is null and void. Whatever Pooh Shiesty had, whatever contract they had, they got that as evidence. That contract is evidence. And the only way he could be charged for that contract is if Gucci told. That's the only way. You can't, somebody else can't say and charge your complainant witness. He has to be a part of that. Gucci has to be the complainant witness. Anything concerning him getting kidnapped and robbed, and if that paperwork, if that is an actual charge, if that is an actual charge, then Gucci Man had to tell. A cop can't go press charges. Them cops that was guarding Gucci, they can't go press charges for Gucci and say, hey, listen, he made him sign the contract under the arrest, so we gonna press charges for him. You can't press charges for nobody else. The DA is talking about that because Gucci talked about that. They could have talked about it, but it don't really matter. Gucci said his Instagram, he said certain things. Gucci made a statement. We know he made a statement. It is what it is. Gucci's a businessman. He ain't no gangster. Yo, XYZ, salute. 716 in the building, salute. But Gucci is Steven from Django. Who's that nigga on a nag? He making money. He eating well in the big house. He ain't eating well in the big house with the bosses, with the real masters. But he the butler. He looked good. You know, it's modern times and he looked good. But this the same shit playing itself out. Gucci knew excuse me, Shiesty knew he couldn't feed his family when he seen the cut and he understood the money. He probably didn't understand it when he first got into the game. When he signed a deal, he was messed up and he signed into it. Once he seen that shit, talked to lawyers, talked to everybody, and seen how they was making money, he ain't getting no money. You don't see these rappers like Snoop and all these dudes talking about, yo, I didn't get $1 from big songs. They is robbing them dudes. And the Matrix, these industries, they keep remaking themselves in a way where it's harder and harder for you as a single person to make money without using them, without using their big money, their big funds, marketing money, promotional money to move shit. They make it harder and harder. It was easy when it was CDs. Got them out the trunk. I got them right here. Get your little machines, get your little CDs printed up, make your CDs. Tapes before that. Had mad mixtapes, blend tapes all over Jamaica Avenue, all over America. A bunch of DJs got rich. A bunch of dudes got rich. Jeezy, Master P, selling shit out their trunk. I got the hookup. They sold that shit out the trunk. They sold that shit out the trunk. That's the facts. It was easier then than it is now. Me being tangible, selling my own stuff. You know, I came up with DJ Clue before he made his big deal. Out the trunk. CDs, Ron G, SNS, Craig G, from Queens, Ike Love, Buddha Barber, Uptown Salute. Just saying, dudes was getting money. They're always gonna make it where it's gonna be harder for you to actually do something. Now it's about streams. You know how many streams it takes to sell an album, to make an album? It's like 1,500 streams just for one album. They gotta listen to your to your album 1,500 times to sell one album. I see what you're saying, just saying, but I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but I probably don't agree because right now nobody's making money off the music industry. If the music industry is so lucrative right now, why is everybody leaving and going to podcasting? Who's making money? I don't know even know who's making money off music right now in America. They made it where it's so hard to get money. You had mad more. All these millionaires and billionaires you see were made from the 90s. What you mean it's easier? Where are all these millionaires now? Show me, name 10 millionaires that was made from rap, from music in the last couple of years. What new rappers is making 10 million right now? NBA, NBA, Little Baby. Name some rappers. 42 Doug, Pooh Shiesty been messed up. For you to be a big rapper with one of the biggest songs, with one of the biggest songs, them dudes is broke. The baby, them dudes is don't got no money. These dudes, they look good. The labels make sure you look good. They put you front row of the game. They give you money for the strip club. These dudes is broke. What are you talking about? Why you think Pooh Shiesty was doing robberies? He ain't a major deal. He's doing robberies. He's booking shit. Why you think he was so crazy about trying to get that shit back? Because they robbing these dudes. What do you mean? Finesse 2 times. Look at these dudes. Yo, y'all, man, listen. You had people with major labels. That's an imprint. That's not a major label. It's called the imprint. That's called the imprint. If you think, yo, I'm telling you, man, they got everybody fooled, man. It's a show. It's a show. They put on a show for you. It's not real. All right, y'all keep thinking all these rappers got all this money. Y'all keep thinking all these rappers got all this money. We see these rappers right now. They don't got no money like that. They don't got no money. Them dudes just signing deals and getting raped. Excuse me, not in that form. But these dudes are signing deals and they getting robbed. What you mean? Dudes like Snoop, you got dudes coming out saying they didn't make no money off certain shows. Drake, all these dudes is coming out like, yo, where's my money? Look at all the dudes that baby. Where's my money? Where's my money? What you mean? If everybody doing so good, why everybody asking for their money? That rap bag has been on decline. That rap bag is not the same as it was. They tripping. They tripping out here. They make it look good. They make it look good. But that bag is down. That bag ain't like it used to be. When you can go out there and make your own money, like, are you serious? If I'm selling this right now for $10, I got a mixtape. I'm selling this mixtape for $10, right? 10,000 people buy it, 100,000. You see what Bootsy said about his show, that his movie he sold. He said he sold it for $20, made 20. He made 2 million. 100,000 sales, $20 a pop. 2 million. He got his own stuff. Then he gives it to the Tubies and all these other stuff. All these things is set up where you getting cents when somebody watch. I don't even think you getting pennies when somebody watch your movies now. How you getting more money now? Y'all is bugging. Y'all is bugging. Pay-per-view makes more. Stuff like that. They make the money. They're not making no money off streaming. You know how many streams you gotta make to make money? They're not making no money off streams, yo. Unless you doing hundreds of millions of streams. Now you doing that, you doing them kind of streams, and you gonna make money. And these dudes are not doing. They're not streaming like that. They're not streaming like that. Some of these girls are sexy reds, and some of these girls they probably streaming more, but then it's the bad deal. It's what your deal look like. But Pooh Shiesty is Django. Pooh Shiesty is Django. He like, I need my freedom. I need I need mines. I need mines. Of course, like I said, I don't agree with the way the tactics he used, but I agree. Go get your shit. One way or another. Get a lawyer. Do what the Locks did. Free the Locks. Go to the streets. We got to renegotiate this shit. I'm not making no music. Look how many dudes did that, trying to get out of deals. Mase, we see Mase up here with Cameron all the time. Diddy wouldn't let him out of the deal. He tried to make a deal with 50. Same thing with Pooh Shiesty. But let me tell you something. Them higher ups, they told Gucci, they said, man, Gucci, man, you got to tell on that boy, man. You got to tell on that boy, man. Listen, I don't care about none of that other stuff you talking about. You got to tell on that boy, man. They said they told him. He might not even want to do it. He probably wanted to go about his own way. They was like, listen, we need you on this one. You gotta, because they not gonna have dudes thinking you could run down with that American steel, them AKs, a bunch of guns, and be closing out deals. They not going for that. Look what they did to Suge. When they heard Suge was doing that, Suge was broke. Yo, Suge had like the most money on the West Coast. Out of all rappers, everybody, Suge had the most money. Once they wanted to get rid of Suge's ass, he was broke in like 2 years. Suge was broke. I don't even understand how he lost that much money. All the lawsuits, Tupac family, they gave all his masters away to everybody that wanted them. Anybody that wanted anything, Daz Dillinger got 25 million, got his rights back to all the things he produced. All that crooked shit that Suge did, they took his ass to court and they took all that shit back, you heard? Suge. Look how quick, you know how much money Suge had? At the top of that shit, at the top of Death Row? Look how quick they took that money from Suge. look how look how quick they took that money from Suge. They talk about, yo, Smitty doing him. He can pull up what he want. Smitty around. Smitty doing him. He might pop out. Smitty might pull up. He doing him. He taking care of his business, you heard? Yo, salute to Smitty. You already know. Yeah. They ain't like, what? Man, listen. Suge. Suge pulled some stuff like this. They said he shook Vanilla Ice over the railing. You gonna sign this contract? They had him over the railing on like the 17th floor somewhere. They said I heard he was out the. They had him out the. They heard about that shit. They knew Suge was really doing this shit. Heard he was beating Snoop and them up in the dog room or something. They said he had a red room. He used to be beating Snoop and all them up in there. They heard about that shit. The federal government heard how Suge was wilding. They was like, yo, he's done. They was like, he's done. He's out of here, you heard? I'm being honest. Them companies ain't paying you to be no bully or no gangster. They're paying you to be a good executive so we can get this money. You open us up for lawsuits. You opening us up for lawsuits. But yeah, man. But yeah, man. Pooh Shiesty's Django. Pooh Shiesty is Django. He a free slave. He like, yo, give me my money. Give me mines. I need mines. He tried to talk to him. The talking wasn't working. Suge was wilding, you heard? Suge was big red. Suge was wilding. Yo, Sandbox Bully, salute. Yo, Suge was wilding, you heard? Suge was doing it, but the federal government heard about that shit. They heard about all that shit he was doing. What you think? They ain't know? What you think? When they want you not to be a big time millionaire no more, they control this shit. What you think? When they giving out them big deals, they don't know about them? You think they can't make a call and stop the deal? You think they can't make a call and stop the deal? Y'all better recognize what's going on around here. Like all this shit ain't connected. When you go rob a businessman and do that contract stuff, you doing a crime, right? But what you doing, especially a person like Pooh Shiesty, what he's doing is sending a bigger message. You ain't gonna be able to gangster no businessman in America. No matter how you look at it, he was robbing a business. You warring against capitalism now. We set up a structure for you to make money in a capitalistic society. When you go to the gun and you go against those rules, that's a threat to the whole structure. Pooh Shiesty got the whole America, every urban hood I've been to. I've been to a lot of different hoods. They wear Pooh Shiesties in black all over America because of Pooh Shiesty. Imagine if he would have got away with that heist. Because he tried to pull a heist. It wasn't a storefront. It wasn't a jewelry store. It wasn't a bank. But it was the same thing. That's the same thing as robbing a bank. It's the same shit. If your money's in there or not, it's the same thing. Ain't no difference. That's a threat to the structure. Look how many people picked up on this story. Look how many people talking about this story. Pooh Shiesty's the dumbest. Let me tell you something. GT salute, you already know. Happy Easter. Let me tell you something. When Shiesty, when he did that, they're like, these dudes might follow him and try to do this shit. We trying to keep them gangsters contained to destroy each other. Yeah, we want that gangster shit. We want that shit in their communities so they destroy each other. Keep it in your communities. Kill each other. Go ahead, we let y'all do that. Don't try to come and mess with this business we got going on in America, mess this money up we making. You ain't messing up this money. Yo, Bill, you funny. Gucci a real nigga, huh? Gucci a real businessman. I give him that. A real nigga, and what I know a real nigga to be, he definitely not that, you know? And what the usage of real nigga from when I came up in the 90s and the 80s, when I came up with what a real nigga was, he ain't that. He a real businessman. He a great businessman, you heard? Yeah, I think yo, Vic, you right. I agree, Vic. But I think Shiesty should have took other measures, you know what I'm saying? I think he should have, I can't. They say he the dumbest predicate felon. Yo, look, I'm just saying from what I've seen already, He not a real nigga. Let me see that. Let me pull up the Seti Nash. Hold on. Let me go over here real quick. Hold on. Let me pull up Seti Nash. Because Seti Nash showed the whole paperwork. Seti Nash showed the whole paperwork. Seti Nash just showed the whole paperwork. Here we go, right here. Additional pro. Imagine being able. Here we go, right here. To build an app with. Hold on. Here we go, right here. As Baby Slime 375X. As present during the offense, describing him as short, younger black male with a darker skin who wore a shiesty mask and a beanie and held BP and others at gunpoint. A December 2025 Instagram story posted by twin CMO tag Baby Slime, Memphis. All of this shit, two wins, basically letting y'all know where they go. It's insane. These are the dumbest cats ever. BP identified an individual he knew as Baby Slime 375X as present during the offense, describing him as short, younger black male with a darker skin who wore a shiesty mask and a beanie and held BP and others at gunpoint. A December 2025 Instagram story posted by twin CMO tag Baby Slime. Memphis investigators identified Baby Slime as Corday Johnson from previous gang investigations. So yeah, bro, we'll just continue on. These are the same cats, bro. They just going through and they OC war and that offense. So here he go with all of this shit. You shining. Posted a video showing him wearing a Rolex GMT Master. Hold on. Goes on to basic Instagram. The account contains photos right here. This ain't no made up paperwork or none of that shit. MM and RD describe Williams Jr. as wearing a black Nike brand shiesty mask, black hoodie shirt, and black pants during what? The offense. An online search of Williams Jr. matched the individual. That's it. That's it right there. That's it right there. As the left ring finger of Gibson. So this happened on January 16, 2026. And then identification of the target suspects. So all this shit was already done. So y'all got to know that whoever told, which is going to be revealed soon, told way before a whole bunch of shit hit the internet. So MMBP and RD all personally knew Williams Jr. by both his legal name and the name under which he performs, Pooh Shiesty. It's a verified Instagram account, and the individual depicted throughout the accounts matches Williams Jr. MM and RD described. Now check this out. This is snitching. Right here, this ain't no made up paperwork or none of that shit. MM and RD describe Williams Jr. as wearing a black Nike brand shiesty mask, black hoodie shirt, and black pants during what? The offense. An online search of Williams Jr. matched the individual Pooh Shiesty. The victims identify Williams Sr.'s Instagram account as Mob Ties Global. That's it right there, man. And guess what? Photographs on it. They identify Pooh Shiesty. Like, come on, stop it, man. Like, now, how you feel about what he did is on you. You know what I'm saying? Um, You want to call him a shit, say he told, whatever, he was protecting the bag, whatever you want to say, but that's what it is. That's what it is right there. That's it. You see what I'm saying? Um, but one thing I know, and two things I know for sure, if Gucci don't do this, then he loses a lot of money. And I'm thinking somewhere in the realm of probably grossing probably 100 to 200 million dollars over Pooh Shiesty and how hot he was in them streets and what he could have been. Ain't the streets is dead. All the fake gangsters just got exposed. Their music ain't hitting. None of these dudes' music is hitting. It's a whole lane for somebody to take over right now. Nobody is like NBA. I'm gonna say NBA YoungBoy. NBA YoungBoy, he got it on Smash. NBA YoungBoy, as far as what I understand, I listen to some of his music. I'm not really into his music. It's a little beneath my level of the music that I like. I like some of his songs though. But NBA YoungBoy is like they Tupac right now. He like they knives right now for these kids coming up. That's NBA YoungBoy. He's the one. He's the guy. Solid record. Whatever he did, doing his thing, whatever. Shiesty could have been like that. Little Dirk. Shiesty could have been like Little Dirk getting money. They're gonna listen to say they're gonna believe Shiesty. And that's the difference. Some people's listen to people for purely entertainment, like a Gunner. Facts. But you gotta remember, if I'm a rapper and I'm making 10 or 20 million off the stuff that I'm doing, I got another rapper. I got another rapper above me, which is Pooh Shiesty, excuse me, which is Gucci Mane with his label, but he's a rapper. He might make, if I'm making 10 or 20 million, he's making probably 50 to 100 million, right? 50 Cent got rich. Eminem made money, Dr. Dre made money, and then their parent company made more money. So how much billions did 50 Cent generate? Think about the money. Y'all not thinking about the money that's being generated because they all are a part of a major record label. If Pooh Shiesty is making 10 or 20 million, that means Gucci is probably making 50 to 100 million. And if Gucci is making 50 to 100 million, that means the label is probably making 250 million to 500 million off one person. That's how that money go. That's how that money is flowing. Understand what these people is grossing with these tours and how this money is going in America when you are a major star and you are a major artist. Then you probably getting 10%. The rapper is getting paid the least out of everybody. The producers probably getting more money than the rappers. I know. I'm just saying, like the projected amounts that could be made. You heard, Vic? I'm just talking about the projected amounts. If you make this much money, if you're making this much money, and you got this much money that you made, if you make 10 million, you make 20 million, and you got that money, you got paid that money, they got 10 times at least, easy 10 times that. That's how that shit work, bro. That's how the money work, bro. Or less. You might be getting 2 or 3%. The rapper's probably getting like 2 or 3% of what the labels and everybody making. Hey, Gemini, how much does the average rapper make from his music in a contract by percentage? Hey, Gemini, how much, how much, how much does the average rapper make off of royalties on a contract on a basic contract?
Generally, rapper royalties can range from 10% to 25% of the suggested retail price on top tier albums.
10 to 20%? What about tours? How much do they make off tours? What is their percentage off tours?
For touring, rappers typically keep a percentage of the gross revenue, but that percentage can vary quite a bit.
Give me some numbers.
Okay, let's say a rapper does a show where 5,000 people come, and each person pays 30 to get in.
How much does the rapper get out of that?
Using the same example, with a $100,000 gross profit after expenses, the rapper's 20% cut would be $20,000. Remember, this is just an estimate, and actual royalties can vary. Is there anything else you'd like to know about rapper royalties?
No, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, but he said 10 to 20%, right? But if you dummy and you ain't got a lawyer and you ain't looking at it, they might give you 5%. You might get 3. They might have robbed. They robbing. They robbing. They not giving these dudes what they supposed to get. This is why everybody be suing them. This is why you hear all this stuff going on, because they signing stuff and they not even getting the stuff that they want. Yeah, it varies. No, it not only varies by the rapper, it varies by what you can negotiate. It's a negotiation. A dude might say, yo, they're gonna give a dude that's on 10%, but you might be building a rapper up and try to give him 5. Dudes be thirsty as hell. I heard what 5 Foreign say that Mase gave him $5,000 for that first deal he got. $5,000 for a deal is crazy, you heard? Five bands? 5 bands is wild, you heard? I ain't gonna lie, 5 bands is wild, you heard? That's wild, bro. 5 bands? I thought I was supposed to be getting millions. What you mean 5 bands? The old Mikey, I might have booked Mase. I'd have been like 5 bands. I'd have been like 5 bands. Take that watch off. That chain, man. Take that watch. Pull the shiesty. Hold up. You trying to play me. $5,000 is hard though. It's hard out here. You gotta get, when the rent is due, you gotta get what you can get, you heard? When the rent is due, hold up. Listen. The car about to get full. This shit is already 2 months behind. I gotta make a payment, you heard? They want some money. If I don't get these people something this week, they gonna be here. I gotta hide this shit in somebody's garage. I gotta put this shit somewhere. They coming to get this shit, yo. Nah, they gave that man. Nah, they gave that man 5,000. Hold on, let me see. Let me Google it. They gave that man 5 bands. Yo, Smitty, what up? You pulling up? 5 bands is wild, yo. 5 bands? I don't think that man gonna just get up there and lie like that and look crazy like that. $5,000? Starving. He might have. He had he went in there with the chincletas on. He like, hold on, listen. I gotta get me some new shoes. I got these chincletas on. I gotta get about these slippers. It's about the snow. You know? I gotta get me some new feet. I gotta get me some new feet out here. You know? It's crazy what you gotta do, man. Nah, he gave that man 5 bands. They robbing dudes, man. Uh, Dude signing a life away, FBA. Dude signing their life away for a chain and a whip and some pocket cash, shaking my head, and then get upset later down the line. Yo, you know 5K is wild, bro. I'm about to Google that real quick. Hold on. We gotta look at that. Hold on. Let me get that real quick. Fivio Foreign signs deal for $5,000. Fivio Foreign makes deal for $5,000. Here we go.
I ain't even gonna lie, he just pulled out the paper and I just signed the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, immediately. So was it no lawyer, no shit, no nothing? Nah. The nigga who brought me to him, he was like, yo, man, just sign that shit, you bugging. I'm like, yeah, read it. He like, he just signed it. It's good. So I just signed it. And was it in advance, anything? It was just like, yeah, advance $5,000. 5,000? Cool. He signed you for 5,000. That's all a nigga gave you. That's all. Yeah. 5,000 was a lot. 5,000 hit when that shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit hit.
Yo, being that he said it hit 5,000 hit, man, hit the like button, hit share the live, you heard? Hit the QR code up top. 5,000? This is nasty out here. Yo, you can get a loan. I can get a loan for 5,000, right? Yo, listen, hold on. Let me try to get a loan. 5,000? Oh my God. I see Mase right here. Hold on, let me go back. I see Mase right here too. Hold on. Yo, 5,000 is wild. Let me like this. I don't know what channel this is, but I'm gonna drop a like for the peoples. Hey, yo, you already know. Yo, Wagwan.
Wagwan, what's the deal, man? Salute to the
5
people,
bands,
man.
that's what's
Salute to the
up.
people.
Yo, what up, bro? Yo, salute, bro. What's going on?
Ain't none. I'm outside right now. I had to make a few moves. Salute to the people, man. It's crazy out here, man.
Yo, oh, word?
Yeah, it's crazy. The weather is crazy out here. Raining
I
bad.
be knowing. Yeah, I see it. Yo, check it out. Look at this Mase joint. Wait, that's not it. That's not it, because now I'm warmed up. I was a little nervous because I wasn't sure if this nigga Tubby was going to answer. Now I'm going to go in my bag. Come on. Let me get it from the beginning. Not only did he get that's not it. That's not it, because now I'm warmed up. I was a little nervous because I wasn't sure if this nigga Tubby was going to answer. Now I'm going to go in my bag. Okay. Not only did he get 750, I gave him all of his percentages back. What you mean? All of them. So if he was going to tour, I could have made 30% for the rest of my life on everything he did. Mm-hmm. I gave 30% all back to him. Oh. Okay. Before the 750. So he got 750 and the 30 back. Oh, okay. What about his publishing? I never had any of his publishing. So when niggas say my deal is like a Puff Daddy deal, how? I got zero publishing. I got zero merchandising. I got zero touring. Wait, that's not it. That's not it. Because now I'm warmed up. I was a little nervous because I wasn't. Yo, listen. But that, I'm not saying after he made the money, he gave that back. You heard what May said? He only gave him $5,000. You got to listen and understand what he said. When he probably called him on the bullshit, I gave that back. Listen now, listen. If you gave something back, that means you took it. You did that shit for 5,000 and then you corrected it later. Check it out. And this supposed to be a man of the Lord, man. Look at you, just Pastor Mase, robbing people out here. Shame
Pastor
of
Mase
yourself.
wilding.
Pastor Mase, danger. Watch your back.
Danger!
Watch your back. Sure if this nigga Tubby was going to answer. Now I'm going to go in my bag. Okay. Not only did he get 750, I gave him all of his percentages back.
What you back? All of them. So if he was going to tour, I could have made 30% for the rest of my life on everything he did. Mm-hmm. I gave 30
for the rest of my life. You hear that? You hear that? You hear that slave deals they in?
Yeah,
I
that
could have
mean
made 30.
the
Listen,
contract
hold
was
on.
twisted automatically.
Right. He said I gave him 30% back. He said I could have made that money off him for the rest of my life. You signed him to a bullshit deal, and then you corrected it when you made a bunch of money. He
That's
made
a
so much
fact.
money off Theo Foreign that he was able to give him 750 plus the 30% back because you made so much money. Oh, don't. That's just going over y'all head. It's not going over mine.
Nah, that make a lot. That make a lot of sense. That make a lot of sense, Mikey. That's why he did say, I'm in the P Diddy deal. Yeah, I get that. I definitely get that. You know what I'm saying? After what I'm hearing from Mase right now, you gave back. That's the key word. Y'all missing. Gave back.
Right.
Okay. Before the 750. So he got 750 and the 30 back. Okay. What about his publishing? I never had any of his publishing. So when niggas say my deal is like a Puff Daddy deal, how? I got zero publishing. I got zero merchandising. I got zero touring. No. Wait, that's not it. That's not it. Because now I'm warmed up. I was a little nervous because I wasn't sure if this nigga Tubby was going to answer. Now I'm going to go in my bag. Okay. Not only did he get 750, I gave him all of his percentages back. What you mean? All of them. So if he was going to tour, I could have made 30% for the rest of my life on everything he did. I gave 30%.
He did not get that man no 750,000 up front. 50 Cent at the top of his deal, at the top of the game, G Unit got $1 million from G Unit got $1 million from Eminem to sign. Shine got $1 million from Puff to Shine. It was a bidding war for Shine in New York. It was a bidding war for Shine. Puff paid $1 million for Shine because he sounded like Biggie. He paid him $1 million. Fivio Foreign was not lit at all like that. He had a big song, but he didn't pay him $750,000 up front. He paid him $5,000. That was the advance. He paid him $5,000, and then when they made money, he came back and gave him $750,000. Yep, that's an advance, a loan against his money. He gave him $5,000. That man ain't lie. That man ain't lie. That man ain't lie.
That's
Yo,
crazy.
God, what up? That man ain't lie. That's why Mase ain't never said that the man lied. Show one time where Mase say I didn't give him $5,000. $5K? That Fivio said, yo, I was doing bad at the time. I needed that 5,000 was a lie.
I mean,
5 bands? He was doing bad, yo. 5 bands?
I ain't gonna lie, you just pull out the paper and I just signed the shit. I ain't gonna lie, you just pull out the paper and I just signed the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, immediately. So was it no lawyer, no shit, no nothing? Nah. The nigga who bought me to him, he was like, yo, man, just sign that shit. You bugging. I'm like, yeah, read it. He like, he just signed it. It's good. So I just signed it. And was it advance anything? It was just like, yeah, the advance $5,000. 5,000? Whoa. He signed you for 5,000.
Yo, a nigga don't even believe that shit. You're a 5,000. Hold on. $5,000, Gilly. Why don't they even believe that shit? Like, hold on, you a major rapper with he gave you $5,000. He don't believe it. Wallow don't believe it. Like, yo, he gave you $5,000. Yeah, he gave him $5,000.
And that's all a nigga gave you. That's all. 5,000 was a lot. 5,000 hit when that shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit hit. That's the same thing Nori said. I thought that shit was gonna last till whenever that shit was gonna last. Till that shit ain't last. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Well, and listen, but how long was the contract? You still had your
I'm
rights.
still in the contract right now. I ain't gonna lie. He just pulled out the paper. And I just signed
He
it.
said, I'm still in the contract right now. He said, I'm still in the contract right now. It's nasty work out here, man. Why you think you gonna have some dudes that's wilding out when they see, when you really learn the game and you see how people did whatever to you? 5 bands is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I had a dispute. They had me on the internet. I was doing music stuff. We was gonna give this dude a 25,000 for the music and all the stuff that we was doing. You know what I mean? I got heat for that. He only got 5 bands. That's crazy, right? Oh man, yo. So they gave him 5 bands for his pocket. Yo, here go 5,000 for you. We gonna get this money. But they got the money for him. They got the money. They gave him back. They gave him money back, and they righted the ship. But it's nasty work out here. That music industry is nasty, man. They doing nasty things to them dudes in there. They doing nasty things like with the money, and they doing nasty things, other nasty things that we see coming out with Diddy and all. That industry is nasty, bro. You go up in there at your own risk, yo. Yo, City, I ain't doing no Diddy deals. I ain't doing no Diddy deals. I ain't got no Diddy money. I don't got the Diddy money. Nah, I can't rock with that, yo. Nah, it's nasty out here, but Pooh Shiesty is Django, bro. Pooh Shiesty is Django. He talked to him, hollered at him, try to go about it the right way. Some wasn't jacking it. If he don't jack it, this is what we gonna do. It is what it is. He probably was talking, they probably was beefing for a while. If he don't jack it, this is what we doing. It is what it is. We getting about this shit. You gotta remember, when you want a deal like that and you see it, you see yourself getting robbed for the rest of your life, you're getting robbed for the rest of your life. Who's going for that? Who's going for you robbing me for my whole life? Like, are you serious? Locks ain't go for it. Free the locks. Locks got about that shit. Yeah, man. But I had to tap in with y'all, give y'all something on this Pooh Shiesty thing. You know what I mean? Easter, give y'all, resurrection of Christ, man. You rise up, man. You gotta rise up out this shit, man. So a lot of stuff going on right now that's like against us, against our people, and against our you know our families, our communities, man. But yeah, bro, it's crazy, yo. I ain't gonna front. Yo, Smitty, they trying to sign. You got to come back up here. Yo, they got a deal up here for you, Smitty. Mike Myers got a deal for you up here. 5 Jack Max, 12 crackhead soups. I ain't gonna say. I ain't gonna say the last part. The last part is wild. But you can make a meal. You can make a meal with that. Nah, but it's nasty, bro. It's nasty, bro. Yo, it's nasty, bro. 5 bands. They doing these dudes dirty, bro. And Shiesty like, yo, listen, you can't do me like that. Oh, they got mad deals out here for you, Smitty. It's a bidding war in the comment section. It's a bidding war for your music in the comment section, Smitty. We got two major players in the chat. We got two major players in the chat right now. It's a bidding war. It's a bidding war for your rap rights in the chat, Smitty.
What you said? What you said?
They got a bidding war for you in the chat right now, you heard?
Who got a bid
They trying to
war?
sign you. They trying to sign you, Smitty. Mike Myers said his deal is 5 Jack Max, 12 crackhead soups, and a Slim
Listen,
Jim, no
boy.
Diddy.
Listen, boy, y'all can't. I need Tyson chicken. I need a
Hey, yo,
whole
look,
package. You
yo,
bugging.
John said he got. I'll give him 40 honey buns and coffee.
Come
You know
on,
what I'm saying?
listen,
So
listen. It depends on what type of coffee you giving me. You understand? If it's Folgers, I don't want it. No
it depends
bueno.
about the honey buns too, because if it's a box of honey buns or if it's the separate ones out the pack, you heard?
Listen, exactly. And it got to be iced honey buns. It just can't be
Right,
any type of honey buns, B.
right.
It has to be the iced
Oh, you got
ones.
City Bama said he got $10 in a pack of Newports. Hold
Listen,
up.
I don't smoke Newports no more. I'm done.
Oh, my son don't smoke no more. Soft
So
pack.
that's off. That's off. I can't smoke cigarettes no more. So the $10, I think about the $10, man. Push it up to 20. Tell them push it up to
Yo,
20.
so yo, Smitty, let me ask you this. You hear me?
Yo.
Let me ask you this.
I think about the $10, man. Push it up to 20.
Let me see this. So what you think about? You think Pooh Shiesty is goofy? He the dumbest criminal? Like what you think?
I mean, of course, I think he's stupid for committing the acts that he did. You understand what I'm saying? But
Right,
when you got artists out here, portraying an image such as Gucci, you know what I'm saying? You see what he just did to Jeezy at the verses. So we still thinking he on it. You feel what I'm saying?
right,
Pooh Shiesty thinking he on that type of time. Like, yo, listen, I ain't going to no police. I'm gonna keep it straight, you know what I mean? Straight street. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here bodying shit. I'm telling dudes I'm bodying shit. So, Pooh Shiesty felt like, all right, cool, we could take it to him on the street shit. Obviously, you couldn't. You understand what I'm saying? But, dudes got to have an eye for shit like that, man. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, he's stupid, man. He's stupid for making that move. He should have known that that wasn't the same Gucci from 10 years ago or 5 years ago. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're doing business with the man. You should know that. You should know he was gonna call police on you. You should know
right.
just around the people around him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just stupid, man. Dudes come out here, they want to chase this clout. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. And not only that, you got the wrong people around you. You know what I'm saying? With a promising career like you come out, you come out, you do 50 million on YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? I'm quite sure you did millions everywhere else, you know what I'm saying, on other streams. You come out, you're doing like brother said, you're doing NBA young boy numbers. Who is surrounding you right now, bro? You know what I'm saying? Dude's supposed this like who's in your ear? You ain't supposed to be making moves like that, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Fact.
Like,
But I think he had dudes calling from prison. He was running his own ship. He was the one running the ship. What you mean? He was calling the shots. And that's the thing about when you're the one calling the shots, you always want to have, they say every great king has good counsel. He should have had an elder, OG, somebody
right.
he could really talk to and trust. Where's the women at in his life? Where is his? He don't got a girl. He don't got a wife. Like, where's his family? Like, I know he obviously didn't respect his pops because his pops was moving. It seemed like he was running the family. His pops was moving on his word. He went
And
out,
his
made that
mother.
bag,
And
got
his
that
mother though.
bag,
And his mother.
got the whole family lit. So they was following him. And son is a gangster. And all you can say right now is he went out like a gangster. You can't. It's nothing else. And when I say out, they're gonna close his lights out for the. How old is How old is Pooh Shiesty? How old is Pooh
He like in
Shiesty?
his 20s.
Paul Scholes is 40.
How old is Pooh? How old is Pooh Shiesty?
Paul Shear is 50 years old.
How old? Not Paul Shear. How old is rapper Pooh Shiesty?
Rapper Pooh Shiesty is 26 years old.
Good
Would
looking.
you like to know?
Good looking, City Bama. 26. They're gonna try to get that man 30 years for
Nah,
that
that's
shit.
crazy. At 26, you going, it's like, damn, man. Like, come on. Like I'm telling you, you got a promising career in front of you. Like you need some guidance, bro. You need some people that's just gonna show you the right way, man. You know what I'm saying? Like these rappers be coming in the game, and like I said, they be having like real promising careers, man. It's just the people that they're surrounded by, man. I'm just keeping it real. It's the people they surround themselves with, man.
Ramel Salute. I don't think he built his team. He had his own squad. He came in with a team. He made some connections, but homie just ain't lose his value. He kept the street values and bring them to the music industry. But everybody knew that because we seen him booking shit and jumping in like a Lamborghini or something. Son is a maniac, you heard? That's the evils. Jay-Z said this 9-6. Dear God, I wonder could they save me? Yo, that's the evils. He infected by the evils, you heard? That song, The Evils. What you call it said this. What you call it said this on Life's a Bitch and You Die. AZ started out as 5%ers, but something must have got in us because all of us turned to sinners, bro. He gotta pray. He ain't pray when he was in jail. He ain't asked God for direction. You're yo, please give me direction so I could be successful in my life. Pray, ask for that. Pray and ask for direction. There's nothing wrong for that. Nothing wrong for that. You ain't gotta pray and ask for money. You could just pray and ask to be successful in your goals in your life. That's what I did. That's what I did. When I pray, I ask for I pray and ask for goals to be successful in my goals, to give me the right direction, to take a lot of this, evil out of me, the stuff out of me, the things that I did, and I'm successful now. I'm successful without the bullshit. I'm successful without dragging American steel and doing the things that I once did when I was
Amen.
in Queens, a young man in Queens, a young kid in Queens, a follower in Queens, acting stupid, doing everything to destroy myself and my peoples.
Praise the Lord, bro. That you where you at right now.
This shit is all God's. Let me tell you something, bro. You don't turn your life around like mine's without God's hand being worked in it. I don't take none of that credit. I give all that credit to the Most High, you heard? I give that credit to the Most High. Jah Rastafari Selassie the first.
Nah, facts, bro. It's no credit to be taken in negativity, brother. You know what I'm saying? So who would want to take any type of credit, you know what I'm
But
saying,
I
from that
mean, I'm
type of
talking about my
nature, bro?
success, the turn around, the transition of my life.
Oh yeah, that's great. Of course, of course. We gonna celebrate that. You know what I'm
But
saying?
no,
But
I mean, I give that credit to God.
facts. Absolutely.
Without me doing the things I did, praying, going to Rasta, going to church, listening to elders, listening to my wife, listening to my family, I wouldn't be here and be successful right now.
I agree. Definitely
But
agree
God
with
is
you
the
on that.
one. Once I read that Bible, studied that Bible, I can come up here and spit the Bible. Once I studied that shit and I understood, and I like let me tell you something. When I first went to prison, I used to be lying to my mother. She used to be like, "Are you reading the Bible?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I wasn't reading that shit when I first went to jail." Just being honest. I wasn't praying to none of that shit. I was gang banging. Then I started talking to the OGs and the elders, and I started getting back into the church with Rasta. Really, I didn't get back into the church really with the Christian church. I got back into church. When I went back to the church, I went to the Rasta church, which is a form of Christianity. You understand what I'm saying? And from there, educating myself and connecting back to God, which I left because my family gave me God in Queens. I grew up under a military. Really, all my elders, all my OGs was in the military, a military Christian black family. I didn't even know my grandmother worked in the Pentagon until she passed away. So I just say that to say
Deep.
I left I left the church and went to the streets. I got bullets, snaked, and a bunch of jail time. I reconnected with God in prison, which straightened my life out. I was able to straighten and restructure my life and straighten my with that foundation first, which gave me a wife and knowing how to treat a wife, how to treat people, how to do certain things. Am I perfect? Of course I'm not perfect. It's no perfection in this, it's no perfection in the flesh. We perfect in the spirit, but it's no perfection in the flesh. So I'm not perfect, but obviously the good in my life outweighs the bad, and I'm not doing the things that I once did. But that transition wouldn't have been possible without me embracing God and the Most High, and really going to God for direction. And the way Pooh Shiesty came back out here and the way he's living, obviously he didn't take these measures. Obviously he didn't do these things.
I definitely agree with you on that, my brother. I definitely agree with you on that. You couldn't have put it no, you know what I'm saying? No other way, man. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because when stuff is laid out in front of you like that, man, like you gotta change. You know what I'm saying? You was given another chance. You know what I'm saying? Like it could have been worse for you the first time when you went to the feds, and for you to come out here and continue to act. You know what I mean? Like that, man. Like you got some real soul searching. You know what I'm saying to do. You know what I mean? Hopefully he grasps himself. You know what I mean? Like yo, I'm around people and all that. So I just wanted to salute you, bro. I'm gonna be on the next one. I love you. You already know. Her Love TV.
All right, peace, bro. Love you too, bro.
All right, peace.
Yo, who going on a drill? Who going on a drill with an ankle monitor? A crazy ass gangster. They drilled this shit into us. Real niggas don't give a fuck. All them songs, they drilled that shit into us. All these gangster songs they been telling they not living. All these images and mental images they put out, imagery of gangsters and guns, and we seeing all this shit. Like they drilled that shit in. They said no, that's a dummy. Nah, he don't care. Nah, he ain't no dummy because he knew exactly what he was doing. Do we feel it was stupid? It was a bad move? Of course it was. But you don't understand. See, what y'all don't understand is this. You don't understand a gangster if you think a gangster is not going to do some dumb shit. A gangster is going to put himself in a midst of trouble. Look at them kids that shot Brooklyn up. R.I.P. to the victims and all the people that passed away. The guys, or R.I.P. to the guys that died in Brooklyn in that lounge and they shot up. These dudes is living in a movie. They living in a gangster movie. What you think? He they living in a gangster movie. Who does that shit? Going to another dude's neighborhood, everybody's armed to a teeth, another rival gang's territory, and do shit like that. This is some mob shit. All this shit, all of the because we got all this gangster shit from the mob. We got this from the Italians, the Dutch. They was doing gangster shit before us. The same shit we doing and you hearing about hits and all this shit going down in restaurants and all this shit was the same shit the Italians was doing before us. The Italians did the same shit before us, shooting Chicago up, shooting up New York, shooting up these major cities. They handed that shit off to us. Happy Easter. They handed that gangster shit off to us. What you think? When I was when we was in prison and we was talking gangster shit. We go to a house. We used to go to houses, and you knew when you walked in that house that you was going to, you knew your enemies was in there. They might be on the door waiting. Oh shit, that's Mikey B about to come in this house. You might got a homie with you. You might be Dolo. Homie might be like, yo, son, you know that's a king house or whatever, Netta house, whatever. Word, how many of them dudes is in there? Like 3 or 4? If it's like 3 or 4 of them, we gonna just go in there and get busy. Dude might say, nah, I heard it's like 10 or 15 of them in there. So what we would do is we tying up our sneakers. Is 10 or 15 in there? We about to get super busy then. We ain't going, because we can easily tell a CO before we go in that house, when they got your card and all that, you about to go in the house, you could tell a CO, yo, listen, CO, I can't go in that house. I'm this gang. Them people in there is that gang. We can't be together. The CO gonna call and take you back to intake, and you gonna go to another house or another place, PC up, and they're gonna take you somewhere else. You know them dudes is armed to the teeth, and you still gonna go in there, and you still, because you a gangster. I'm just being honest. That was the difference. A smart dude is not gonna go in that shit like, hold up. How many of them dudes is in there? 15? It's 2 of us. They got knives, they got razors. We ain't going in that shit. Y'all bugging. A gangster's gonna be like, we is going up in there. We popping it as soon as we get in there, it's going down. I'm telling you some real shit. No, to be a real gangster, you don't care. It's not, see, real gangsters don't care about they living by their rules. They're living and dying on what they die on. That's what to be gangster is. That's what to be gangster is, bro. Whatever you living on, whatever you feel like it, I'ma live and die on this. That's that. These rules, these principles of gangsterism was written, and I can't depart from that. That shit is. Cause you got heart don't make you a gangster. Cause you got heart don't make you a gangster. You could be dumb as hell and still be a gangster. Come on, stop it. You could be dumb. You could be the stupidest, most foolish idiot around, and you could be the biggest gangster. What you mean? There's no requirement for you to be smart to be a gangster. There's no requirement for you to be smart. Said that earlier in this video. There's no educational requirements to be a gangster. Probably to be violent. Having heart don't make you a gangster. Having heart don't make you a gangster. You can have all the heart you want and not be a gangster. Nah, and let me tell you something. Of course, I don't agree. I wouldn't have did that crazy shit he did. I'm not gonna send all my peoples to jail. I'm not that dude. I'm not. I'm not no dummy. But is that what gangsters do? That was some gangster shit. It is what it is. It was some gangster shit. Back down the security, back down everybody. Booked them, took all his jury. I'm just saying. Was it smart? Of course it wasn't smart. Of course it was dumb. I'm not promoting that shit. I'm just calling it what it is. I think it's. I hate to see a bunch of dudes going to jail for this kind of stuff. I hate to see this. I hate to see dudes that should be in a position to get millions of dollars doing this kind of stuff. me tell you something. It's a bunch of dudes out here with no heart that dudes consider gangsters. You got a bunch of dudes out here that's not active at all, that's not dragging no steel, but a lot of people consider these dudes gangsters. They're not active, they're not getting active at all, and dudes consider these dudes gangsters. Dude shit been on a shelf. Dude shit been on a shelf 10, 15, 20 years. That shit might not even work no more. These dudes are still considered gangsters. They ain't do nothing. They ain't do shit. And dudes consider a lot of these dudes in the streets gangsters. And then you ain't gotta say no names. You ain't gotta put no names or nothing on that. I took a life bid. I took a life bid. It wasn't hard. I was about to go to trial. If I'd have listened to my family, I would have. I wouldn't be on YouTube right now. I would have never came home. I took a life bid. That wasn't hard. I was dumb as hell. I was going to trial. I was stupid as hell. That shit don't take heart. Right. My advice is stay out the street too. That shit is dumb as hell. A lot of that shit that I learned, a lot of that shit is that I learned when I got smarter. Not necessarily, man. I understand what you're saying, yeah, to a certain point, to a certain extent, but you could just be dumb. You could be a dummy. You could be a dummy and be a gangster. Some dumbass gangsters. What you mean? These niggas ain't smart. We pushed education. We told, we educated ourselves, and we promoted for people to get educated and to come home and to. But yo, man, I'll pop back out later, man. I got a phone call I gotta take, man. Salute to y'all. You already know what it is, man. Mr. Hood Love, Mikey B. Salute, man. It's a good one.